name's Autumn Guthrie. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you today?
Good.
Did you have any difficulties filling out the forms or anything?
Nope.
Any questions regarding the forms?
Nope, pretty straightforward.
Perfect. I noticed here that you said you do 2 to 3 days of the week of moderate to vigorous activity. Did you want to increase that amount of activity?
Yes.
By how much?
I'd like to become more active. I only walk probably about 30 minutes when I do walk, and 2 to 3 days is kind of stretching it sometimes.
And what would you like to do?
I like to become, I'm not a jogger, but I like doing the, going to the gym, working on machines. I don't know a whole lot about that.
Do you have any personal motivators or anything that help you through your...
Not really.
No? Anybody that you could bring to the gym with you that might help you out?
My husband.
Perfect. How long have you been suffering from, or how long have you been hypoglycemic?
As long as I know.
And
If
does
I
that
don't-
affect you in any way when you're working out?
If I don't know, but if I don't eat properly, I could feel like I get the shakes and emotional.
But it doesn't affect you when you're working out,
No.
even if you eat them properly?
I've never noticed it to affect me.
Okay. You're 5'9". Wow, that's tall compared to me. And you want to get down to 160 pounds.
Ideally, 160 would be nice. I think going below that's getting a little too thin. It's a huge goal.
So it's your long-term goal as of
Yes.
right now. What's your short-term goal?
Probably about 10 pounds,
10 pounds?
10,
Okay.
15 pounds. I don't want to set a huge goal because then I feel like I'm setting myself up for failure.
Yeah, what I'll suggest is we'll start with little goals and then eventually work our way up to larger goals. Because the larger goal you set, the more it's going to get into your head about what you can and can't do, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a couple of questions for you regarding my personal questions. So after accomplishing your goals, what would be something that you're looking to do that might be outside of your comfort zone at this moment in time?
Probably like doing a marathon. I've never thought in a million years I would ever accomplish something like that. So that would be a pretty high goal.
Have you done a marathon before?
A long time ago, I did a half marathon.
And how did that go?
Extremely difficult. So I don't think as of right now I could do a full marathon, but that would be a huge accomplishment.
And how long was that training?
For a half marathon, I probably trained about 3 or 4 months.
Do you think that was enough time?
No.
How much time do you think you should have trained? Or put more?
Maybe about 6 months. I mean,
Think it would have been easier?
yeah. Oh yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least amount of energy used and 10 being the most, how much energy do you exert during physical activity or exercise?
Probably a 3 or a 4.
How much would you like to exert?
I'd like to get get out of breath and sweating and
What do you think's stopping you from using that full 10 amount of energy exerted?
I don't know, probably the fear of being sore afterwards or hurting myself.
Do you have any mental fears of being in the gym by yourself?
No.
That doesn't bother you?
If I just don't pay attention to my surroundings, maybe.
So you do have a fear of
A little bit,
people
I
being
guess.
around you.
I don't want people to stare at me.
How do you feel towards exercising, and what does a daily meal plan look like for you? How do you think this affects the way you view your nutrition and exercise?
So I know that when I do exercise and I get something accomplished in the day, I feel good about myself. But then I feel like I always sabotage myself by the end of the day. My meals during the day, my breakfast, lunch, and dinner are good. But when it comes to after that, it's like after or nighttime snacking is horrible.
And why is that?
Getting bored watching TV, I don't know, and I think I need a snack and
So is there healthier options around the house that you can
no.
use?
So I think I should probably provide healthier options.
So how does that make you view your nutrition and exercise?
I could do a lot better. I don't put a whole lot of effort to it which I think if I actually put my mind to it,
So you think if you had those options around you, it would make things a lot easier for you?
yeah.
Perfect.
I think it comes down to being lazy, to be honest with you.
And how do you think you can motivate yourself to be unlazy?
I don't know, honestly. If I do good throughout the day, it's just try to keep it going through the night.
Do you think if you had somebody pushing you, like, to stay on track and
Yes.
it'll be easier?
Yeah.
Perfect. And how do you feel like, or how do you think you will feel after you reach your long-term goal?
Amazing. It's not. It would be a dream come true. Put it that way.
And how long have you been wanting to reach that goal?
So, over the years, I've put on the weight, and I make excuses for it. So to be able to put my mind to it and accomplish that, I can't even express. It would be so wonderful.
Is there any reason behind why you want to reach 160 pounds again?
I know I used to be there, so I know I can do it. Like I used to be that weight. I haven't been this weight my entire life, so I think it's something I can reach. It's just I don't know how to, and I don't know how to do it properly.
What made you want to reach 160
I don't feel
pounds?
good. I don't feel good in my own skin.
And why don't you feel good in your own skin?
I'm just, I feel lazy. I feel tired. Motivation's hard to stay motivated. Once I start, I can do it, and then it's like something negative happens, and it's like, why am I wasting my time? But I don't feel good in my own skin. I feel like I'm too heavy. My clothes don't fit.
And you feel like that's affecting the way that you're living your everyday life.
Yes.
It's understandable. I can see why you want to change, or why you want to work for the goals that you have. So I've gotten my questions from you. What I'm going to be doing is explaining 2 assessments we'll be going through. The first assessment that we'll be going through is resting blood pressure. The first thing I will be doing is putting a cuff on your arm. You'll be sitting up against the table, left arm on the table, so that's the cuff, the arm the cuff will go on. It's going to be a little snug. If it gets uncomfortable or anything at any time, you can let me know. Once the cuff is on there, with my other hand, I'm going to be taking your radial blood pressure, so the blood pressure or heart rate, at the wrist, so while it's rested on the table. And with the other hand, I'm going to be squeezing a pump. It's going to fill up, and it's going to put pressure on your arm. Once I no longer feel your pulse on, kind of sounds scary, but once I no longer feel your pulse on your wrist, I'm going to give it one more tight squeeze. And then I'm going to take my stethoscope and put it right over top of your brachial artery, just where the little indent here is in your elbow. And I'm going to listen for 2 thumps while I release the pressure of the air. The first thump is going to be my systolic number, so my bottom number. And then the second thump is going to be my top number, my diastolic number. And that's going to give me your blood pressure. So, and then the second assessment I'll be taking today is your resting heart rate. This one's a little easier to explain. I'll be also doing it from your wrist. And what I'll have is a stopwatch. So your arm will be rested again, feet flat on the floor, because if your feet aren't flat on the floor, it can adjust or mess with your resting heart rate. We'll be feeling for your pulse on your wrist again. Once I find your pulse, I'm going to count the amount of beats I feel within 30 seconds, and we're going to multiply that by 2. If by chance I can't find it in your wrist, then we'll end up going through with your neck. I'll feel for just under your neck here. That one might be a little uncomfortable. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can let me know at any point in time, and we can stop and start over, or I can try and find it on your wrist again. Any questions or concerns?
Nope.
Awesome. It was nice meeting with you today, Renee. I look forward to working with you, and I hope that we can reach some of your goals.
Thank you.